Oh, okay. Gee. Okay. I know, I can just tell. Okay.
No, correct. We do have the signature page for best of my note.
Okay, space bar.
We can sign that.
It's just my self-evaluation. You did it.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Bucks County Community College Board of Trustees meeting being held on Thursday, June 4th, 2026 at the Newtown campus. For the Pledge of Allegiance today, given the dearth of students around, we're asking one of our trustees, about whom we'll say more later, to lead us in the pledge. Jim Dancy, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice.
Thank you. Ms. Brower, roll call.
Rick Lucas,
Present.
Jim Anthony,
Present.
Rhoda Davis, Blake Eichenhart,
Present.
Jamie Fasselor, present, Ronnie Hughes, present, Sean Suda, Tom Jennings,
Here.
Adrian King,
Here.
Vince Magyar,
Present.
Carol Leone Ferguson,
Here.
John Murray,
Here.
Ed Tuckmajian,
Here.
Bill Worsted,
Here.
Patrick Jones,
Here.
Michael Clark.
Present.
Thank you, Ms. Brower. And Mr. Clark, could you report on the executive sessions?
Yes, the board has held two recent executive sessions. The first was on May 28th to discuss personnel. And the second was prior to the start of this meeting to discuss collective bargaining agreements, personnel matters, to receive information from the chief financial officer. No deliberations occurred and no votes were taken. And to receive information from President Jones regarding a program. No deliberations occurred and no votes were taken.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the May 14th meeting? Second?
Second.
Any discussion, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there any public comment today? Anything online, Damon?
No.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to say thank you to Dr. Jones and the entire staff and community for once again putting on outstanding programs during commencement week. Very moving programs as always.
Never mind. I got it. I learned to move around.
We know these things don't just happen, so I want to thank you, Dr. Jones, and to committees that put it all together, and for the gracious invitation, of course, to the board to all of those events. I also want to recognize we have with us today electronically, virtually, I'm pretty sure, Eleanor Breslin. If you can hear us, Eleanor is being appointed to the Board of Trustees for the term that expires June 30, 2030, filling the balance of the term vacated by Tabitha Delangelo, whom we thank for her years with us. But Eleanor is a supervisor chair, I believe, in Tinicum Township. And more importantly, if you were to have a lot of time in your hands and wanted to watch the Bucks County Planning Commission meetings, live or later, you would see at a table very much like this. In the middle is the chair, Eleanor Breslin. To her left is someone who has been the chair, Ed Tuckmajian. To her right sits me, who's the secretary. Eleanor clearly is the rose between the thorns, no question. Again, I should thank DCPC for being such a fertile ground for recruitment for us. The other trustee appointed for a term expiring June 30, 2032 is Walt Sturtz. And Walt is with us today. Walt, Many of you know Walt from his work in the foundation or in the community. He is a patron of the arts, devoted to the college, and has the Midas touch. And I hope you'll touch many here in this room. Thank you for joining us, Walt. The orientation program, newly revised by the governance committee in collaboration with Ms. Brower, will unroll in the weeks to come. And I think it'll be very useful, and the events will be, or the programs will be given to the other trustees in case they wanted to participate. And I did want to also acknowledge the reappointment of Dr. Balukas to the board, Dr. Davis to the board, and Mr. Hudas to the board. Congratulations and best wishes for your new term.
And you have been reappointed to the board.
So they say. Thank the board for another very good year. And as you know, on the website, on the Board of Trustees page, you can get access to meeting data going back a long time. So if you were to look at some of the boards over the years in the section on board actions taken, it's really quite a lot of things that we go through. A lot of the consent item agendas, of course, involving the expenditure of money, but also some very other significant matters. So again, to the board, thank you for your time and attention this year. A volunteer board in a period of transition is something we could talk forever about, and we won't. But it's you know, when you're in a transition mode, as the college has been, in what I believe is an era of not an era of change, but a change of eras. It makes it all the more important to have stability in the office of president, among other things. It's been an interesting time, and I think the board is well positioned to move in harmony with the college as we try to move forward with our very common goals. And with that, Dr. Jones.
Well, thank you, Chair Jennings, and I'll start by again thanking the trustees for joining us at commencement, and thank you so much for recognizing all the hard work behind the scenes to make those ceremonies happen. Having the trustees present, it really sends an important message to the families and to the community of your support of the work we do here. So thank you very much. We did celebrate the graduation of 924 students over those two ceremonies, those who graduated from in summer 2025, December of 2025, and then spring of 26. 924 students were celebrated. 6 of them are currently on our website with spotlights called Graduation Spotlight, and I encourage you to look at them, bucks.edu/student-success. They're really wonderful stories our marketing team has done. Both of our commencement speakers are profiled, as well as 4 others. Of those 924 graduates, 408 earned Latin honors this year. 44% of our students graduating earning Latin honors, 156 cum laude, 118 magna cum laude, and 134 summa cum laude. And that speaks to the quality of the education here and the hard work of our students. We really do have terrific things happening here at Bucks County Community College, and that is a point of pride. Along those lines of our honor students and our academic high performers, we will be signing a new agreement, a dual admission agreement. So as a reminder, we have these transfer agreements. You leave here and you seamlessly go to the next institution. Dual admission is a transfer agreement kind of on steroids. So you are duly admitted. So during your first year here, you also then sign on with where you're going to go next, dual admission. And we will be signing next Wednesday a dual admission agreement with Ursinus College. Ursinus College is ranked number 84 on the US News list of national liberal arts colleges. So those rankings group institutions national or regional, and whether it's a university or a liberal arts college or a different type of school. This is the first time we will have a dual admission agreement with a nationally top 100 ranked liberal arts college. We already have amazing top ranked research universities with dual admission: Penn State, Drexel, and Temple, All three are in the top quartile of research universities nationally in this country. This is the first time we'll have that kind of a ranked liberal arts college. So for our students who are looking for that small, intimate, academically oriented college experience when they finish with us here, they'll have that dual admission agreement to Ursinus and with very hefty scholarships based on GPA. If they are a Phi Theta Kappa student, they will be getting $4,000 or $43,000 a year as a merit scholarship. So there will be a signing ceremony at Ursinus next Wednesday, and I'm very thrilled to do that. And wanted to take a moment to explain the significance of this, adding to our portfolio of dual admission, a top 100 ranked liberal arts college for our students up folks. Very excited about that. The last thing I'll leave you with is enrollment, which I'm always taking a look at. Summer session has already started. As a reminder, we have 3 summer sessions, 1, 2, and 3, though the students can register now for session 3, even if it hasn't started, but more enrollments happen through the summer. But as of May 26th, for summer terms, our enrolled number of credits were up 10%, our head count up 8%, and our FTE up 10%. So 10%, 8%, 10%. For our fall enrollment, as of May 27th, 13 weeks to go. So these numbers will change, and it actually will close because our students appear to be enrolling early. But for the fall, as of May 27th, our enrolled credits were up 42% over last year, our head count up 46% over last year, and our FTE up 42%. Again, as we get closer, that will close some. But all of our data is trending upward in the disclosing signs. And with that, I just want to give my personal thanks to the Board of Trustees for all the work that you do, all that you do to support college. And in particular, in my first 2 years in transition, I could not ask for a better group. And in particular, I could not have asked for a better chair than Tom Jennings. So thank you so much for all of your leadership and hard work and mentorship of me in my first 2 years. That concludes my report.
Pleasure to be on the transition is a word that seems to follow some of us around. It's been very, very productive, and I think you're brought us to a good place. Including giving much attention to our physical plant. Mike Harris, the environment report.
Good morning, Chair Jennings and members of the board. Since my report to you at the last board meeting, we've undertaken and engaged in the following initiatives related to environmental health and safety here at Bucks. Tomorrow, Dr. Blanco and I will hold the monthly meeting of the college's Health and Safety Working Group to review safety incidents, concerns, and initiatives. We've completed roof drain repairs at the gym and HVAC mechanical unit repairs at the science building. We're preparing and planning to complete the following projects during the summer and fall of 2026, which include replacement of existing worn out flooring in Tyler Hall in the Gateway building, complete renovation of the shipping and receiving area to improve conditions in this work environment, installation of a second downdraft table, air filtration units, and electrical safety improvements at the welding lab at the CAT building, and initiating the boiler house renovation project, among others. We've also prepared the initial cost estimates and schedules for the various stormwater management and roofing repair projects that will be funded by the $25 million deferred maintenance bond. As always, we'll continue to pursue and implement safety initiatives for the health and safety of our entire community. Thank you.
Yeah. By way of a couple of quick committee reports, the executive committee met on May 20th, discussing personnel issues, the president's review. Finance committee report.
Thanks, Chair Gibbs. Good morning, trustees, faculty, staff. Yes, the finance committee continues to meet regularly and remains actively engaged in a number of important initiatives, working alongside Niels. The finance team continues to work toward delivering timely year-end financial reporting, as well as the completion of the audit. We're currently in the process of recruiting for the controller position, and interim Niels will assume additional oversight of daily accounting operations until that position is filled. We also remain on track with the bond refinancing process and anticipate pricing those bonds in July and settling at some point in August. The Finance Committee met just this past week to review a significant number of consent agenda items. Those items are included in your board packet, as well. Just as a reminder, all the finance committee documents are included in that monthly for your review. The committee spent considerable time reviewing these items and is comfortable recommending them for approval. Many of the items before you this month represent routine renewals and ongoing contractual obligations to the college. In addition, we have our review of the recent financial organization assessment conducted by Cherry Becker. The report provided valuable insight into staffing and resource needs, opportunities to reduce manual processes, and system challenges, as we know with Workday. As a result, we're evaluating several options to address the recommendations identified in the assessment. And I'll defer to Niels here in a minute to provide a little bit more a detailed summary of the report and its findings. Lastly, included in your packets is the finalized classified employees handbook for the 2026 to 2028 term. The results of the classified employee negotiations were reviewed by the Finance Committee and deemed appropriate for board action today. Before I ask Niels to provide any additional comments, I'll turn it over to Jill to provide a brief overview of the classified negotiations. Is that okay?
Sure. So we negotiated a 3% increase for a 2-year term contract, 3% each year. We had some language cleanup, including performance management. There's some language that was just out of place, out of order, just incorrect. So we did a lot of cleanup. But basically, the contract remains mainly in force as it was in the past.
Thank you. Niels, did you want to add on to anything I had?
Yeah, thank you. And I'll just provide a kind of a quick overview of the work that we had done with Cherry Becker. So the college engaged Cherry Becker to conduct a 6-week assessment of the finance function. The objectives were to evaluate the staffing structure, develop gap analyses, and make recommendations to address the findings. Benchmark data was used as the framework within which to assess the college's functions relative to best practice and peer norms. The assessment was completed recently. Key findings included several long-standing vacant positions, some reporting misalignment and inefficiencies, configuration issues with Workday, and the use of consultants to supplement existing staff with both technical and operational support. Cherry Becker made recommendations to address these challenges and gaps with a focus on process discipline, training and cross-training, accelerated hiring into some of the vacancies, and expanding our business and analytics capabilities. These recommendations were articulated in an 18-month roadmap toward a more efficient and optimized finance function. Our finance team has initiated actions to address the findings and has adopted a number of recommendations already, with plans to implement the majority of them within the next 12 weeks.
Thank you, Niels. Chair Jennings, the final report for this month, and can I just add, it's been a real pleasure working under your leadership. So thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Thanks to your great committee for meeting every month without fail and really getting into the detail. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
I could, I'm sorry, we need a motion for the approval of the revised classified employees handbook. Moved by Jim, second by Ronnie. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And Jill, congratulations once again.
Okay.
Thank you, Bill.
Yes, Phil.
Just want to say that in my time here, these committees, Jamie's, Ronnie's, and Ed's have been really the best that I've seen. We've had they're completely engaged and very productive with regard to everything that's going on, and it's been super worthwhile.
Good to hear, Phil. Thank you. And I certainly agree with that. I think we all do. And again, putting so much emphasis on the committees as recommended by other experts and things, I think has worked out very well for us. Now, Mr. Clark will conduct the election for board officers for next year.
Thank you, Mr. Jennings. We have a recommendation by the governance committee for chair for next year, Ronnie Fuchs, vice chair, Jamie Fazzalor, secretary, Ed Tokmajian, assistant secretary, Vince Magyar, and executive committee, Carol Mignoni Ferguson. We can take these as a slate if someone would want me to make that motion, or we can take them individually if somebody would want to make that motion.
Move we take it to
Motion by Mr. Murray, second by Mr. Eisenhart. All those in favor of the slate that has been proposed by the governance committee, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, with no opposition, it is unanimous.
Thank you,
Turn it back
Mr.
to you,
Clark.
Mr.
Thank you, incoming officers. It's a great board, and we all look forward to continuing the good things that are going on here with your leadership. The board met, as provided in the bylaws, the board has an obligation to review the president's performance once a year. We did so. All members of the Board of Trustees gave their comments and ratings in the various categories. And as a result of that discussion held last week, further discussed briefly in the executive session today, I would be looking for two motions. The first is awarding the president a performance bonus of $30,000, a figure derived from the review that was done, the matrix that was applied to that. It's a one-time payment bonus for this year of $30,000. So I have a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? None opposed, unanimous. The other item we would like to present is the extension of the president's contract for another 3 years. That would be expiring on June 30, 2030 at that point, right? If I get that right? Yes. Okay. Same terms and conditions, a slight increase in car allowance for gas and mileage of things of that nature, to be accomplished by way of an addendum that basically says the current contract in place, those terms and conditions apply, except as noted in the new contract, which would include a 3% increase, not this year, but next year and beyond. Did I get all of that?
You did, correct.
Thank you. The motion to move the extension of the contract.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, unanimous, Ms. Brower, once again. Congratulations, Dr. Jones.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No.
Appreciate it. It's a pleasure working with you and working with all the people in the room here.
And we appreciate the stability you bring to the office. Stability, but not complacency. And that's important. For the consent agenda, Mr. Niels Christensen.
Niels, can I just stop you for just a second? I just want to take a second to say thank you to Tom, because you've been terrific for these past years. Your leadership, your friendship, everything. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Just barreled through problems. Thank you.
Niels. Now, Niels, now you're going from good news to your news.
As Ed mentioned, I think the finance committee reviewed all this fairly extensive across facilities, IT, commercial insurance, extensions, the work they renewal, et cetera. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to address them, but otherwise we recommend approval of the various consent items.
Motion to approve. Second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I noted in the agenda, the summer action by executive committee. That's just a long-standing notice that during the summer months before the next full board meeting, if there's something that requires action, the executive board would meet and deal with that, and then report back what that action was at the next full board meeting in September. So that's just there for general notice. And now the event we've all been waiting for. Let me, if I could, just tell a quick personal story. 6 years ago, I'm sounding like Jim Dancy.
No, a lot of years, know too many personal stories. That's what Deb has been saying.
finance.
6 years, well, that's gonna come up.
Oh, really?
6 years ago, walking through the parking lot of Giant in Lower Makefield, the phone rang, and I saw it was Commissioner Harvey. So I answered the phone because just days earlier, I had delivered the government transition report, for which I had been the chair, and I thought there were some questions about that perhaps. That was not it. He had mentioned to me that he wanted for me to serve on the board of trustees of community college. So I told him no, I didn't want to do that. And in fact, I had a name to recommend, that of Garney Morris, who we memorialized recently. And in fact, I put in a word for Garney and see what value that had, but I declined. He came back with, well, you know, you've just done this report, this would be good. No, thanks, Bob. Well, the whole idea was to get new people into the system. It doesn't have to be me. Well, you need to do this. Nothing. You need to do that. Finally, he says, well, here is a chance for you to work with your old friend, Jim Dancy. I'll do it. So once again, Jim joined this board in 2009. That's correct. Filling in the term of the late John Long. And again, just another John Long had passed in earlier that year. I filled his term at Pearl Buck.
Did you really?
Yeah, we get to know Dave Ridinger, who was the chair before me, and just things, as Jim likes to say, there are no secrets, only time and big difference. So anyway, he joined in 2009. Here we are, 17 years later. All the qualifications for conferral of trustee emeritus status have been met. All of the rewards you get with that, Jim, you. Well, that's covered away. Thank you. We do have something for you, but first, motion and a second, and then any comments. So we have a motion to refer trustee emeritus. We do. A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous once again.
Just a couple comments, Tom. Thank you all very much. You know, that we've had some great days and we've had some very dark days, and I thank everybody. You know, Niels came with us, you know, 2 or 3 years ago and lived through a lot of the horror, and thanks to Dr. Jones when we extended the employment offer to him. You know, when I was first approached, Tom was with me. We were at a fundraiser at someone's house. The names, I won't mention any names. We were up in Doylestown. And 2 of the commissioners approached me. I had just retired a few months earlier than that. And they said, what are you doing to stay busy? And I thought, you know, I looked around like, anyway. They said, well, we have an immediate opening. Unfortunately, John Long had passed away unexpectedly. And so that was my first 3-year term. I said, okay, fine. So I took that, you know, for 3 years. Then I was reappointed 2 more times. There's 6-year terms, as you know. And then 2 years ago, I was supposed to be done 2 years ago. And Bill McLean left 2 years behind because he had to leave early. You know, Bill had some issues and he just couldn't make, you know, he just didn't have time. And so Tom asked me if I would take, you know, Bill's 2 years, which I did. So that brings us up to now. So that's 17 years if you add all those pieces together. And not that I have any interest. I am leaving, but I don't have any interest in leaving. But you know, it's time when I can still walk, you know, and my head is still, it's time to go. So my term is up in June. Thank you all for the education I got. When I was first approached by the commissioners that Friday evening, and Tom was with me. Well, I don't know if he was in the meeting, but he was with me that evening. And they said, you know, and described, you know, what this role was. And I said, well, wait a minute, you know, I've been in the garbage business for 30-some years. I don't know anything about, well, I mean, I went to St. Joe's and graduated from St. Joe's, but that was a long time ago, you know, and I don't know anything about academia. And one of the commissioners said to me, he said, well, you don't have to know anything about academia. We have a lot of people that know academia, you know, not that there isn't a lot to know, but he said, we have a lot of people, but you know how business functions and we need more of that. So, and underneath it all, you know, I've said this 1,000 times, I'm going to say it one more time. this is still a business. You know, we don't make TVs, we don't make phones, we don't make computers, you know, we don't make tires. But we make an educational product and we provide an educational service, but underneath it all, it's a business. And you gotta cover your costs. We have bills to pay, like any damn business has bills to pay. So, I thank you all for that, and I thank you for tolerating my stories over the years. And I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Jim.
I've been waiting behind it.
One of the many savory moments from the world of trash and I share. Very important agreement, worked well for both parties, which would be the company, Waste Management, and the Township of Falls. Signed, sealed, and delivered. I think the date is September 20th, 2025. Jim was the business guy, I was the lawyer, and Mike Clark represented Falls. So we've come a long way, an agreement that has withstood the test of time.
Certainly.
So well written. Any other comments today?
I have a comment.
Please,
I
go
may.
ahead.
So, I think, as Jamie said, and again, before, we want to mark, Tom's moving off of being chairman and not leaving us. So, it has really been an education to be on the board, that you have chaired. It has been a huge time of transition for the college and a transitional time for the board as well, as we really struggled to find our way sort of through some of the changes, understand some of the changes, and build towards the future, find a new president. We went through a presidential search, and I know that wasn't the only presidential search that other members of the board have went through as well. And you have really led us wisely and mostly patiently through a really rocky time and gotten us to a much better place. And I feel very confident that we're going to be in a good place going forward. We also have a photograph for you. However, yours is not engraved because we're not going anywhere. When we allow you to leave, we'll take it back and we'll engrave this, Tom, but not yet. So thank you.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet. Just to show you, it's the same as Jim.
It's not engraved though.
Like to think of it, we weathered a lot of problems in the front, all the umbrella.
Yeah.
That's true.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Adjourn. Thank you.